It's a mystery. I'll look later.
The red zone is for parking, loading, unloading, dismounting, and mounting only. I'm not the pheasant plucker, I'm the pheasant plucker's son. And I'm only plucking pheasants until the pheasant plucker comes.
Now what?
Good evening and welcome to Riker's Beard Live. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening, and I'd first of all like to say welcome and hello to the ant to my deck, Mr. James Dillon. How are you doing, James?
It is me. Hello. Good evening and welcome. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Oh, great. We'll come on to your fashion accessory in a moment. Let's talk to us this week about the moon. Welcome back, Dan. Fantastic.
Moon.
Indeed. Welcome. Hello.
James, I don't know where to go. Are you doing pantomime? What are you doing?
I's a traitor, innit? I's a traitor.
A Sith. You a Sith Lord?
No,
you obviously not seen The Traitors, have you?
I thought you were practicing for the next Rocky movie.
You're a Sith Lord.
No, The Traitors is a game show where some people are traitors and some people are faithful. It just finished on Friday, a big finale, so you obviously weren't watching that.
Some people are traitors and some people... So it's marriage. Okay.
Traitors wear these green robes and they lurk in the turret at night. And they get in the turret and go...
I've heard. I think I've heard of the game. Have you bought this specifically to watch it in? Do you sit there wearing the hood, or
I actually bought for my daughter and I to wear. She thought it was very funny that she thought we were in a secret club that Mummy and her brother don't know about.
Right. Okay. Well, I like it.
I'm pleased you like it.
I like it. As ever, Dan, I'm in awe of your superior enterprise. Blue Bricks, is it? I can't remember now. Is it Blue Bricks one?
It's Mega Blocks.
Mega Blocks. That's it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So,
my waving cat is broken.
Although I will say that somebody at work has bought me the Enterprise D Lego, which is currently awaiting build.
Somebody at work gave you a £350 Lego set.
Yes, I think it was in lieu of my £350 bonus.
Then they did you for the VAT then.
Something like that. But I've ordered the little light up blocks for it, so I'm not going to build it until I arrive.
Well, if you're first time watching, welcome to Riker's Beard Live. We're going to be having a little chat about Star Trek imminently. That's what we're about. But if you've seen us before, if you haven't seen us before, please do say hello in the comments. The show is run by you, so say hello, say what your favourite character is, your favourite Star Trek episode is, your favourite film, your favourite series. We love all that jazz, so please jump in and say hello. And of course, we've got to talk this week. Well, we've got a couple of things to talk about this week. But we really want to talk about, Star Trek, because we've got a new Star Trek series. And Starfleet Academy. We're now on episode 3. I've got some thoughts about it, which I'm going to share. But first of all, let's break the episode down. I think I'm not going to choose Dan to do this. But
Am I the only one who did the reading?
James, you've done the reading. Break the episode down. What happened this week in Starfleet Academy?
So principally this week, and by the way, I should mention that I think Sam, who's our regular viewer, commented last week that this was the first episode 2, that had no scenes at all in space. This episode also had no scenes at all in space and took place entirely within the Academy grounds. And principally, this week's episode was based around student pranks, where Starfleet Academy and the War College, and we'll come on to the relationship between the two shortly. The War College kick off with a prank on Starfleet Academy by beaming half a dozen characters from the locker rooms where they're all stood around in their bra and pants, and beaming them into public areas such as the cafeteria, and in two instances into a pond, top of a set of stairs, hilariously, in a state of undress. So the Starfleet Academy cadets, of course, want to get their own back on the War College. They have some war games that take place as sort of like a laser tag arena, and then they decide they're going to have their own private war game in the lobby of Starfleet Academy. And it's about basically one-upmanship of the Academy over the War College, where even the Chancellor, played by Holly Hunter, gets in on it and actually subtly tells the cadets what to do. And it also turns out that 300 years earlier, she had been responsible for one of the greatest pranks in the Academy's history. So that's the broad strokes of the episode.
And just straight in there, I salute you, sir. Absolutely, well done. So quickly, hello to everyone. Hello, Gary. How the devil are you? Hello, Alan. How the devil are you? Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Want to come on and be fake Carl?
Christoph, hey, no, yes, no. The waving cat. Yeah, the lucky cat. Hey, Georges, how you doing?
Mine's not lucky. It kept falling off the shelf.
Amanda, how you doing? So we've had the latest episode of Starfleet Academy. I mean, again, I'm going to direct this more at James. How did you feel about the episode?
I'm beginning to take the view that this series it's not targeted at me, and I think that the viewership they have in mind for this is probably teenagers, young adults, and I think they're using it as a gateway sort of drug to get a new generation into Star Trek, from which, once they've seen this, they might go for the more classic series and enjoy those as well.
No,
you're feeling that it's not inclusive, then?
I'm not feeling included. I'm just thinking, university pranks. Are we going to go out and explore the universe at all? I don't know.
Interesting what you just said there about how we're feeling about Academy. It made me think that it's got to be, is it 5 years since COVID? 5 years since this show first started.
6 years.
6 years. And we actually sort of booted the idea around of Police Academy as Star Trek as a show 6 years ago. And when I thought that's what this would be, and it isn't. I
think you have to bear in mind that what's right for the franchise may not necessarily be what we want to see. And James is quite right saying it quite obviously wasn't aimed at him or at us. And I include us in our age group as being more
elderly.
We prefer the golden age of Trek, which it's Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. We all like Enterprise as well, but that's our main thing. And yeah, Starfleet Academy clearly is not aimed at us, and it feels very much like it's not very inclusive to people of our generation. Whether that's right or wrong, whether that's best for you get to a certain age and all new music sounds shit. That's inevitable. Are you going to get to a certain age where all new Trek seems shit? My biggest concern about the Starfleet Academy's first 2 episodes was that I thought it was quite good, but do you know what? It wasn't as good as the first couple of episodes of Discovery. And that made me...
Oh, no!
that made me worried.
As an interesting point there, though, the first couple of episodes of DS9 weren't brilliant. DS9 took a whole
2 seasons of DS9 was shit.
Yeah, the first couple,
Alan Moraine, come with me. Alan Moraine.
Half a season of Voyager wasn't brilliant. So let's give this time,
Well, we will give it time. It's just, it's not encouraging so far.
Good evening, Victoria. How are you? What is the abbreviation start? Nothing's going to get better than the STD. that finished with the burn.
It should have finished with the antibiotic, shouldn't it?
Good evening. Louise, just the third, it was not the best after great 2 episodes. Leah, great to have you aboard. Going to pass out with shock, but I totally agree. Well, yeah, it's the best thing about this show is that you can agree or disagree. We're right. Everyone who disagrees with us are wrong, but we you can't validate us being right without being wrong. So you can have your own opinion.
We very much appreciate that other people are entitled to be wrong when we're being
Absolutely.
right.
Once again, this episode was I'm missing the reference there, James. You're going to have to.
A curate's egg is something that, although it has redeeming features, is largely disappointing.
Well, I'm gonna speak in a moment. I've got a rant ready that may well get us cancelled. So,
I mean, you might care to say that some of the Riker's beard contraceptive foam could have prevented this from being made.
Yeah.
Available from all good chemists, by the way.
We are indeed in. So, shall I get my rant over and done with, and then people who are offended by it can just switch off?
Oh, do we have a warning sound for it?
I might have a. We've got a red alert one. We could use that, or a parental warning.
Yeah, that's probably appropriate.
Parental warning. We'll do a parental warning.
Please be aware that the following program contains scenes which may not be suitable for younger children. Some parental discretion is advised.
So, my list of things that I disliked in this episode definitely outweighs things I liked. But I do like to start and end on positives. I thought nearly all the performances from the actors were great. And I thought that the uniforms and the costumes looked great. But speaking of aesthetics and set dressing, can anyone actually figure out what the layout of the Academy is supposed to be? Can anyone figure out what the layout of the Academy is supposed to be? I don't know if they're trying to save money. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I can't figure out. The dialogue was very much in line with the first 2 episodes, and honestly, it was just cringeworthy most of the time. When that's combined with some truly awful acting choices, it made the character of Lura Thought completely unwatchable. It got to the point where someone I was watching with, a teenager, the exact target audience for this series, said completely out of character, I really hope she dies in this episode, because it was just annoying us so much. Then we had the clumsy emasculation of the leading male characters, Daram and Carrick. being outthought and outthought by their female counterparts because, the market for girl bosses hasn't been saturated yet, of course. Now, I actually like the idea of this plot, but the delivery was rubbish, had no subtlety, had no finesse. And subtlety matters when you're trying to reach to people who need to hear the message. It's something that Star Trek used to do and used to be brilliant at. But when you write with such obvious moral urgency, you don't persuade, you harden opposition, you radicalise the middle, and you legitimise backlash. You do not cool a fire by throwing sparks at it. How does Kurtzman still not understand this? His echo chamber must be fucking immense. And then there's Marla. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. The holistic teacher, barefoot, informal, anti-authoritarian energy, it could work. There's no character groundwork explaining why she's tolerated behaving this way. It's just irritating. It's more irritating than Neelix's nostril hair. Finally, irritation number 2. Why invent a new game, Calica? What's wrong with Parisi Squares? It added nothing to the plot. Nothing at all. It was just laser tag. But maybe that's on me. Maybe it's like a Fortnite simulation for the younger audience. I don't understand. But in spite of all of that, I have to admit, I did actually enjoy the episode. I thought it was all right. And my family thought it was all right as well. But you know what it wasn't? It wasn't Star Trek. And that's my rant over.
Well, you mentioned Parisi Squares there, Richard, and despite the fact it's been name-checked in I think, TNG and DS9, don't know if they ever mentioned it in Voyager, we've never actually seen how it's played, have we?
Perfect. It was a perfect opportunity. Why did they not give us Parisi Squares?
Yeah.
Why not give us Parisi? Why invent a new shit version of laser tag? Why not give us Parisi Squares? I don't understand.
Well, this is. I know the reason for this. Ironically, I know something useful.
Yes.
This has been explained at convention on stage. The reason that they won't reference certain things from other franchises, if they reference certain things from other franchises, they have to pay the writers of that bit.
Well, they did reference it. They specifically had in the academy signs saying you can join the Parisi Squares team.
Yes,
they talked about Parisi Squares. We've never seen it played. All we've ever seen are like Worf and Yar walking down a corridor in a big blue outfit with lots of armor on and odd-shaped bags, but we never find out what happens.
It's not like the visual feast that was Ambu Jitsu.
Visual feast only if you're a spectator, of course. If you're a participant, you can't see anything.
Richard, it's because you said the word Riker, Riker has appeared.
Hello, Riker. How you doing? You can call my dog's name. He won't come because he's deaf.
Go away.
Diefenbaker. That's a Due South reference, people.
Well, after my rant, we actually have more viewers than we started with, so I didn't offend too many people by speaking the truth.
160,000, blimey.
Yeah, 160,000. So let's jump into the comments.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Ian here. We're talking Starfleet Academy.
Yes.
Yes. What are your thoughts on this series? I just gave them.
That's what we've been talking about for 20 minutes.
So quickly, it's the Mego bricks, isn't it?
Mega blocks.
Mega blocks, yeah. Looks like the Eden Project, yeah. Christoph's absolutely loving Academy. Yeah, honestly, such good actors. Both those two, such good actors. They're carrying it on their backs at the moment. Fantastic young actors. Christoph, layout. It just, for me, I don't know. If you're going to make it like a high school or something, or a university, then make it like one. But I never understood where people were meant to be or where they were at any given time, and it made the whole trying to get into the war college's dorms to do the prank. It made it pointless because it felt like they're literally just over the. You just walk down the corridor when you're there. It just seemed really stupid.
They seem to be sharing a gym, don't they?
Yeah, it's rubbish.
This is the one thing I've really moaned about with it. It's going, okay, if Starfleet Academy is meant to effectively populate all of Starfleet with its officer corps, I mean, surely more than about 20 cadets a year are going to be required to fill out the whole of Starfleet. I mean,
well, this is Starfleet starting again.
Ships and star bases. It must require tens of thousands of officers every year. It's just not on the right scale.
So Louise and I are very much on the same page here. Genuinely, I did actually enjoy the episode, but it just I came away from it. I didn't feel like I'd watched Star Trek. Georgia says combination of Friends, Beverly Hills, and so I like Friends, and I love Saved by the Bell. I've never seen Beverly Hills. Louise says, Dan, I have a Fox Red Lab 2. My dog is Kess. Oh, Kess and Riker. Fantastic. Due South. I've never watched Due South either. I should do.
He was a Mountie stationed in Chicago, Richard, and he had a deaf wolf as his dog.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
Actually, that's the point of the War College. Absolutely opposite of the French stand for. Yeah,
I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say it.
They're gonna develop that, I think.
If your dog's 4 and it's called Kess, it's about to be written out. Oh, see, this is why I'm not allowed to say things on stage.
Wow, that's quite.
Oh, that's harsh.
That's crazy. That's stronger than my rant.
Nothing's as bad as Section 31. I mean, that plumbed the lowest depths we've ever seen.
See, once I had an ingrowing hair on my scrotum, and that wasn't as bad as Section 31.
I've got to say, I would rather rewatch all of Discovery than have to watch Section 31 again. That's how bad Section 31 was.
So I took from our Christmas special the advice to watch Section 31.
That was not the advice, Dan.
Yeah.
It's the exact reverse of the advice you were given.
I watched it. It was an experience. That is all.
Generally, because you can watch Star Trek and think that was shit Star Trek, like the motion picture. You can watch the motion picture. It's Star Trek, but it's shit. After watching
I'd watch it again.
Yeah, but after watching Section 31, do you actually did it feel like you watched Star Trek?
I don't know what the hell it was, but it wasn't Star Trek.
Okay, so my confession with Section 31 is this, and I'm not sure if it's just down to I was working a lot and etc. and I was tired. I fell asleep 3 separate times while trying to watch Section 31, and I was determined to make it through it. So I've watched the first bit of Section 31 4 times, but the entire thing only once. And it is 4 or 5 hours of my life I'm never going to get back, and on my deathbed I will just regret. Yeah.
There are sometimes you have to rewatch it because you think that like the new Superman film. Went to the cinema and watched it. It was awful. So I watched it at home again. After 20 minutes, I switched it off. No, it's still awful. I've not actually felt the urge to rewatch Section 31. So I've rewatched Star Trek Beyond because I'm like, well, that can't have been as bad as it felt at the cinema, and it was still pretty bad. But I actually didn't bother to rewatch it. But Section 31, I would not even consider rewatching.
I suppose it's one of those it's like when Star Wars fans tell you that they've seen the holiday special.
I've seen the holiday special. I thought it was brilliant.
So moving on, I need someone to please play devil's advocate in the audience here because we really want. James would like to talk about review bombings. So you put something in the group chat about review bombings earlier.
Oh, yes. Well, I found numerous references in articles online to suggest that Starfleet Academy is the victim of effectively a smear campaign, that there are a dedicated hardcore of people who are going out of their way to leave negative reviews for it, regardless of whether actually it had any redeeming features or not, and that they are skewing the results considerably. So apparently on Rotten Tomatoes, Starfleet Academy scores quite highly. Something like 85%, but the audience feedback, the reviews are more like 45%. And these articles were saying, is there a contingent of people out there who just want it to fail and will say it's rubbish regardless of whether it's any good? And they're doing that, and they're skewing these results. What do people think?
Well, if you would play devil's advocate for me, James, I would argue to you now. Well, then, if you're the company that's running the show, and you felt the show was brilliant, and people were purposely review bombing it, would you not release the viewing figures to prove it?
Well, yeah,
because they're refusing to release the viewing, and they still won't release them for Discovery.
We know that for Discovery they deliberately do. It would be fascinating to know on Paramount streaming service.
They're refusing to release the viewing figure. They're insisting it's being review bombed, but they're still refusing to release the viewing figures.
It would be interesting to see what the reviewing figures versus piracy are as well.
Interesting. So this the only reliable way you can track how many people are watching it is by looking at the torrent sites. Because they refuse to release the viewing figures, the only way you can measure it is by looking at the torrent sites. Exactly. And would you like to know how it's doing on the torrent sites?
Torrent, ladies and gentlemen, is an illegal stream by which you can download media without paying for it. And of course, we don't endorse, nor can we possibly consent to anybody doing that. Just to make that absolutely clear, that is our official position.
And we wouldn't know how to access viewing figures on a torrent site, would we, Richard?
So if I were to access a torrent site to have a look at the viewing figures to see how many people are actually watching,
using your VPN,
it is doing abysmal. It's doing worse than Discovery.
It can't be that bad, surely.
It's doing worse than Discovery. It is that bad, yeah.
Oh.
It's doing absolutely appallingly. In terms of now, bear in mind, I will advocate myself here and say, look, I don't like it. It doesn't mean it's a bad show. It means I don't like it. And just because it's not popular at the moment doesn't mean it's a bad show. Do you remember how unpopular Enterprise was when it first started?
Yeah.
So let's a bit of perspective here. But to say for the studio to come out and say, well, people are obviously review bombing it. No, they're saying they don't like it because they don't like it.
I'm not sure it's the studios who've claimed that it's being review bombed. I saw a few articles online. I don't know if you read the link that I sent you, but
No.
It may well not be the studios actually making that claim. But either way, I agree with what you say. It would be useful to actually have the actual viewing figures, and we would know.
I think if the studio had confidence in it, they would release the figures. But they refuse to. The same as they refuse to with Discovery.
They'll do Discovery. They'll wait until it gets nominated for an award. It may only be one, but it'll be, Academy Award.
Finished award.
Well, Discovery nominated for, I think it was like 5 or 6 awards, but it was like best sci-fi costume, best sci-fi, but they didn't focus on that. Just focus on the nominated for 3 or 4 awards, whatever it was. That's how they push it.
Right, let's jump back.
That's a good point.
Well, but also there's Leah's jumped in and said that Leah said the amount of hate she's had just from mentioning the show in a balanced way on my platforms. You'd agree the hate campaign is taking. I get what you're saying, but I think people hate it because they hate it, and that's kind of fair enough. I don't think I don't think they're hating it just because it's DIE whatever it is. I think it's just because it's shit. Don't like it. Georgia says we should think about which target group the series is aimed at. So this is my next point. Well done. Judging what we've seen with so far, the exception of Picard season 3, it's clear to the younger audience expecting our own age group to be somewhat removed from it. Yeah, so I do get that, and I think that's why we've got Michael Giacchino, and I think that's why we've got Hunter in roles in there, because they've got actors with gravitas to bring us Golden Age Trekkies in that might make us interested, whilst it's clearly aimed at a younger audience. And I do get that, and I completely appreciate that. There's not a way to say this that's not going to sound very arrogant, but the audience it's aimed at. They don't pay for Paramount Plus. We do. Yeah.
He's onto something there.
Yeah. So I
He's
think
got your Paramount.
I think this is why you're not releasing the figures. Your younger audience, they're not the ones paying the subscriptions. We are. Okay. So let's
Well,
wake up and spell the money
is
for it.
saying here, Richard, is that right?
I genuinely, they've not released any figures at all that I can find.
Okay. All right.
None whatsoever. Not at all. Louise says, episode 1 to episode 3, I would have liked when I was about 14. You wouldn't have, because you've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and it was better. It's doing badly because it's Susan asked for. Well, and again, bit of perspective, none of us wanted Enterprise. When it came out, that's not what we wanted. We wanted to see what happened after DS9. We did not want Enterprise, and it turns out it was brilliant. So let's give it a bit of leeway. Now, if anyone in the audience would like to disagree, you've got 2 minutes to do that before we talk about something else. No, we only talk about Star Trek on this show, not Master of the Universe who's not had a sandwich. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. It's Kurtzman Trek is what we need to get away from. I don't know what his... Honestly, someone just needs to get a common sense bat and whack him over the head with it. Yeah.
Yeah, she does shout a lot, doesn't she? Laura Fock.
Honestly, I think that's the most irritating character in the whole of Star Trek ever.
What did we think of the reveal that Jet Reno and Laura Fock are a couple?
Maybe they're putting some groundwork for it to be relevant later. Certainly isn't relevant.
It didn't take us anywhere particularly, but
no, but they may be laying groundwork for a later plot. So if they're just throwing in, well, don't get me wrong, they may well just be throwing in a woke grenade, but they may genuinely just be laying some groundwork for a later plot development. So
yes.
Right, so there's not a lot of defence going on. So I think probably the hate bombing is not just people hate bombing for the sake of it. I think people may hate it just because they hate it.
Well, there's an interesting point. Laurie says her 20-year-old doesn't like Academy either, and says that DS9 is light years better.
Well, I'll just get back to my rant that may have pissed a lot of people off. I didn't say I didn't like it. I did actually come away enjoying the episode. I did. But for me, it just wasn't Trek. It wasn't Star Trek. So take from that what you will.
I did enjoy the prank with the talking fungus, though. That was fun. It was like feed me Seymour.
God,
Little Shop of Horrors, yeah.
I've watched that in so long. I need to watch that. Oh, Steve Martin is the dentist. Oh.
The sadistic dentist.
I'm your dentist. Oh, yes. Got to watch Little Shop of Horrors again. Oh, my God. What a film. Rick Moranis.
My name's Audrey.
Richard, can you,
all night long.
Richard, just highlight that comment from Christoph at 9:48, please.
Well, you're wrong there, Christoph.
Yeah, you're wrong, sadly.
Seasons 1 and 2, maybe. Season 3, no.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Season 3 is what we all wanted, and it was like an absolute Christmas present, wasn't it?
Whoa. Fight.
There's only one way to resolve this. That gives me an idea for destination, Richard. Shall we have a panel with, like, fights to the death, like on Vulcan?
I don't understand this reference.
Glee, my lord, was a television series about 10, 15 years ago, ostensibly based around a stage school. It was not targeted at you.
Oh, it's a TV series.
Yeah, it's all like this. Jazz hands. Spirit fingers.
Anyway, can we move on from from Academy, please?
Ian loves that Reno has a lady companion in Starfleet. For me,
no problem with it. No.
Well, not getting into it, but just great that there's a companion. It just at the moment it feels like it's thrown in there like a woke sandwich. Let's hope it's just building up to something relevant. So, okay. With you, Riker's beard.
Huzzah!
Sensible lady. Right, let's move on to more serious things now. So, as some of you may or may not know, we're going back to the moon.
Moon.
There's genuinely, I think there's very ulterior motives for us going back to the moon than what a lot of people may think. And it's not just putting lasers on the moon, which is a good idea. Okay, I think putting lasers on the moon.
Lasers.
I don't think you can have enough lasers. But putting lasers on the moon, great idea. But this evening, to talk to us about the moon or possibly not about the lasers that are going on the moon, how we're getting there, when we get there, it's our NASA correspondent, Dan. Dan, talk us through what's going on.
Hello. I just think I'm just a little bit in awe of the fact that we are.
I'm really sorry, Dan. Could you wait? Because James has literally just walked off. This is your big moment. He's just gone, right, I'm not listening. He doesn't care.
Okay.
I just came to get something relevant.
We got your moon kit now. Right.
I've got my guide here to Moonbase Alpha. I've been on the moon since the 70s.
Sorry about that, Dan.
So, I put into our group chat this week. I was sort of. There is a lot going on in the world at the moment. I think is a very, very polite way to put it. There is a lot of noise globally about various things, and a lot of it coming from America. And people are so focused on this that we seem to have lost sight of the fact that Artemis 2 is launching next week.
Well,
2 weeks time.
Yeah. We are sending people back on a mission not to land on this time. We're not landing this time, but we are going to go round the moon a couple of times.
Well, you never know. It might go. They might have to. I mean,
and it is. It just staggers me that when you speak to people of my parents' generation, the moon landings and the moon race and the trip to the moon was such a big thing. It was world encompassing, and everyone's focus was on it. And from hearing them and watching documentaries and stuff like that, it was lots of people were very, very invested in it. And now, I said in work the other day how I was excited for this rocket launch, and the 3 or 4 people in my office were like, "What? How do you not know that we're going back to the moon?" It just baffles me slightly. And I said to you guys in the chat, I said, it'd be interesting to see if people in this chat, because it's a more likely to know about things like this if you're watching this, being polite.
I get where you're coming. I think it's been desensitized somewhat because there have been a lot of landings on the moon in the last 20 years. Not by people, but a lot of things have landed on the moon. We've sent a lot of sensors and probes and things. China's got loads of stuff on the moon. China. But
can you imagine how Jimmy Doohan would impersonate the robots that have landed on the moon, Richard? Could you channel Jimmy Doohan being a Chinese robot?
I am a robot on the moon. I have opened up a restaurant called the Shitty Walk.
Do you not think, obviously, there is so much focus? I mean, I turned on the news today and I thought, there might be on on Sky News, I thought, right, there may even be a 10-second segment on, the launcher and all the rest of it. No, we've got
Dan,
snowstorms in America. We've got ICE agents in
the
Minneapolis.
BBC won't even cover the shit that's going on in Iran. Okay, so it's all sponsored, and no offense to anyone younger than me, but even the news is aimed at people younger than me now, so it won't be relevant unless it's about to happen. That's like I guarantee you, 2 or 3 days before the launch, it'll be all over the news. There's no slow burn anymore. It's Google Shorts, it's Facebook Shorts, it's Reels. Unless it's about to happen straight away, people aren't interested. That's the attention span of the youth these days.
It's just a bit sad.
It is sad. It is sad. It's the marshmallow test, isn't it? This is why you never give your kids the marshmallow test. It's but it is what it is. This is the generation that are going to be running the country. So there we are.
And I'm not making light of the big and important things that are going on in the world at the moment, which are overshadowing this. I get that there are bigger and more pressing matters. I completely understand that. But for this not even to be, for people to not even know it exists, that just...
Well, I think it will be 2 or 3 days before launch. It will be big news. And it's just because of the way that the public consume the media now. Unless it's not happening straight away, people just aren't bothered. And let's be honest, it might not happen.
I did see today, though, moon adjacent, if you want to use that term, that ex-astronaut Kelly, is it John Kelly? Ex-astronaut John Kelly, the one up to the International Space Station, has now said that he may run for US president. So,
not Wolowitz.
John Kelly,
the bald guy. He's one of a set of twins, wasn't he? Because they did experiments on him and his twin to see how long-term exposure to living in space affected these two twins, because they took base measurements before and after he came back.
I think Howard Wolowitz would make a much better president.
I just don't tend to involve myself in the political affairs of other small nations
Well,
or former colonies.
Yes. Well, like you say, it just the fact that this whole Star Trek journey, the fact of man going into space, it's exciting, and you can see a little bit of it in the next fortnight or so.
One of the things
here's some trivia for you. So this Artemis mission, which will be the unmanned precursor to the first planned manned landing mission, is effectively a parallel to Apollo 10, which was the dress rehearsal for Apollo 11. Can you tell me the name of the lunar module from Apollo 10?
Oh.
I'll put on my brainy specs while you're thinking. Come on, Oxford, I'm going to have to hurry you.
It's not Hermes, is it?
No.
Is it homosexuals? So for reference, it's one of the funniest YouTube clips you'll ever see.
They're regiments of the British Army. I don't think they're going to be very happy with you, you Swift. No, the name of it, Dan, was Snoopy.
Ah.
It's another fact for you about Snoopy. Snoopy was abandoned effectively in a lunar orbit as Apollo 10 departed and returned to Earth. It's remained sort of floating around in the solar system since then, and it's still believed to be the only unmanned spacecraft ever put up there that's still out there.
I know there's a picture from Apollo 11 that was taken, and in it you can see everybody that existed on Earth except the cameraman, because he's got the lunar module in front of him, and then the Earth is behind.
All of humanity, bar the photographer. Yeah,
bar the photographer. How to ever feel alone,
Well, I'm going to advocate a little. I agree with you, Dan, but I'll advocate a little bit now. One of the things I like the most about the current age, whenever there's a significant rocket launch, especially Elon Musk stuff, it's always on YouTube. You can watch it live, wherever you are. You can watch it on your phone. There's there's a lot of exciting things that are happening. I think, as with everything, you're naive to think it's not to do with money. I think the space race, the original space race, that was probably the last time it wasn't for money. That was us proving a point against the communists. But I think now they've realised, especially with the way that resources are running out and precious metals are becoming more precious, it's easier probably to mine the moon than it is to mine passing asteroids. And I think that's why we're going back. We'll wait and see if I'm right or wrong about that. That's what I think is going on. So we're going to see what's going to happen over the next 30 years. But I think we're going to see a lot more investment and a lot more people wanting to go back to the moon. It's very interesting the way that China has got, I think, over 30. They've got over 30, not people, but they've got over 30 landings on the dark side of the moon now already that we don't know about. Well, that we know about, but aren't publicized. They are way ahead of us on the moon. It's unbelievable. So,
yes, a few years back at one of the destination events, I had a really long chat with one of the chaps from the European Space Agency.
Yeah, he was the one that told me about how many Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said there's a particular piece of real estate on the moon which is really sort of the golden target for everybody, because that's where they think all the minerals can be found. So all the useful stuff. So it's shaded, it's not too hot, not too cold. You can get deep underground. There's likely water there. The heavy elements are likely to be there. So you'd be able to extract.
You're looking for the water. You're not looking for the elements. You're looking for the water because you've got a way to bring it back. Then that's the
yes. Yeah, so you can create the rocket fuel from the water, but everything else as well that you could use to build your lunar base and your spacecraft and everything once you get there. It's some sort of 3D printing technology. If you've got the raw materials, that's the way they see it being done.
There was an interesting video of a self-building robot that they're using in trials at the moment, which has got what I can describe as a couple of arms on the side of it, which can articulate itself up and build itself higher. As it does it, it's quite interesting for.
So the what people cleverer than me think is the most likely at the moment is the way that you could essentially have a 3D printing robot because you've got solar rays coming straight down, a bit like a magnifying glass, and you can harden moon dust. That's your building material to make whatever you like a 3D printer. Yeah, that's the way they reckon it'll go. I'm not clever enough to understand how this works. Sometimes
it's also helpful in this book where they explained how they built the moon base, and of course you may remember that 27 years ago the moon blasted out of orbit as a result of a nuclear accident, and what we see is a hologram.
I mean, if the moon did blast out of orbit, would that affect the tides of the sea? Do we think that's what really affects it? Because I don't think it does.
No, it would definitely affect it.
I'm not sure it does. I think it's the natural sloshing of turning a bowl with water in it. No, seriously. Seriously, I don't think the moon's got anything to do with it. I mean, how would it? The moon doesn't pull bits of paper away from you. How does it pull the whole ocean?
Because the whole ocean has a lot more mass, and therefore it is attracted.
But so does the planet, pulling it the other way. So I think it's a lot more to do with the natural slosh. Like if you get a fish bowl and do that, the water sloshes around. I don't think the moon's got out to do with it.
The planet
doesn't need to get a scientist on to do this.
The planet goes round. It doesn't go backwards and forwards.
Did you say you're looking for a scientist? I am, in fact, a published scientist, James. It's a fucking fraud, but I am. And I think it's general sloshing rather than the moon having out to do with it.
Okay, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you on that.
Same.
Which one of us is a scientist? Just saying. Oh, gosh, we're past time. So, if anyone in the comments has anything urgent they need to say to agree or disagree with us, please do so now.
Well, it seems that my ridiculous moon chat has killed the comment section. So,
well, it's not killed off your retention, though. So please, anyone watching, If you enjoyed or disliked what you're watching, please hit the like, the heart emoji, the smiley face, not the angry one, please, unless you disagree with us, in which case, just go away. But we do hope you've enjoyed the show.
And don't forget all the fantastic Riker's Beard merchandise you can still get, including the all-metal belt buckle, and the con badge,
contraceptive foam,
the contraceptive foam. Yeah,
annual behind you. Annual.
Oh, yes, the Riker's Beard annual. Let's not forget that.
Yep, annual.
Well, gents, I would love to come back and have a little chat once we've done this launch in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk some more moon stuff.
That'd be marvellous. Yeah. With our science correspondent.
And it gives me an excuse to go and buy the Lego Artemis model. That way I can show you.
Our science correspondent. There he is.
I'm there, the science correspondent. Did I put my letters after my name in my bio there? I don't think I did.
Let me just check.
I probably should have done.
Bronze swimming certificate, silver swimming certificate.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
But please do hit your thumbs up, heart emoji if you enjoyed the show. And until next week, look after yourselves and each other.
Don't have nightmares.